Have you ever set a big goal, something you're excited about, but just a few weeks later and you're already burned out? Yeah, me too. We all start strong. We get inspired. We buy the notebook, the app, the gear. We tell ourselves, this time it's going to be different. But then life hits, energy fades, and the goal slips through our fingers. It's not because we're lazy or lack willpower. It's because we've never been taught a system that works with time instead of against it. But remember when you were in school, you didn't think about what you had to do. You just went through the program. They said, you show up here, and you keep showing up, you do the work. 4 years later, you'll have something to show for it. That's kind of what this 4-year you is about. For me, it started with something simple. I wanted to try and lose weight. I went hard, went to the gym every day, strict diet, tons of motivations, and then one day I fizzled out. First I missed one day, then two, then a week, then a month. I realized something. I don't need to do it all perfectly. I just needed to do something every day. Because time was going to pass anyway. I might as well be intentional about how I spend it. So that one thought changed everything and led me to ask myself, what if I use time to work for me instead of against me? That's when the idea for the 4-year you was born. So here's the real problem. We try to sprint our way through a marathon. We start a new job, a business, a relationship, and expect instant results. But that's not how life works. You didn't start off becoming who you are. You worked on it in small, micro steps along the way. When you want to become someone different, you need to allow yourself to acclimate. It's not going to feel good at first because your mind wants to keep you safe. That's why it's called the comfort zone. When you start to make changes in your life, think about it like walking out of a warm house into the freezing cold. At first, your body is going to want to go back inside. But if you give it time, your body will acclimate. You don't just flip a switch and become a person who finishes things. You become that person through the process of finishing things over time. And that's why most systems miss. They don't give you time to acclimate. That's where the 4-year you system comes in. Think of a stream of water running over a rock. At first it seems like nothing's happening, but over time that consistent flow carves a groove into the stone. The 4-year you system is that stream. It's a structured way to align your long-term goals with the natural flow of time, using consistent effort to create lasting change. It's about translating micro actions into macro results. The foundation of 4-year you is the 4 quadrants: rest, planning, action, and evaluation. And those correspond with the 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. So each quadrant is based on naturally occurring seasons. So winter is rest, spring is planning, summer is action, and fall is evaluation. As you move through each of these quadrants in each area of life, you move through them not once a year, but continuously, every day. So these cycles exist daily, weekly, and even monthly. When you wake up, that's spring. Midday is summer. Evening is fall. Sleep is winter. If you're in the business world, even agile methodology mirrors this. Winter is the backlog, spring is sprint planning, summer is execution, and fall is the retrospective. This cycle is literally everywhere, and we can use these naturally occurring seasons to work for us and help us achieve goals that we never thought possible. So how does it work? The 4-year you uses the same method for different planning and review cycles, which is what we call the seasonal quadrant. Imagine a plus sign in the center of a page where each season or quadrant is a different stage and a state for where your goals are currently at. And then each planning and review session, you decide whether any of the goals need to be worked or moved. So here's an example. Daily review focuses on the seasons of today. What goals do you want to work on in the morning, midday, tonight, or while you sleep? Whereas the weekly review is focusing on the days ahead and the days prior. So what happened last week and what will I do this week? Continue on through the monthly review, the annual review, and the quadrennial review. The quadrennial review is why it's called the 4-year you, because notice that there's seasons at the year level too. So like there's a winter year, there's a spring year, summer year, and a fall year, and it creates these natural like 4-year arcs. So you imagine like graduating college in 4 years, graduating high school in 4 years, the Olympics is every 4 years, a president every 4 years. You may have noticed these natural cycles, and all we're saying is instead of fighting against those, work with them and think of your life in 4-year chunks or arcs or epics. So back to this this review process, each review kind of zooms out a little bit more, helping you see clearly and make better decisions. And when these cycles overlap, say the weekly and annual land on the same day, you let the greater cycle lead. You start big and then you go small. So this process is similar to David Allen's weekly review in his book, Getting Things Done, regarding the contextual nature of work and the weekly review. It's really about doing the right thing at the right time in the right season of the day, week, month, or year. It only takes a few minutes to complete and it helps you see incremental progress every day. So if you want a digital version of that guide, you can download it for free at foryouru.com/free. There's a doc version you can edit and a PDF version that you can just print out. It walks you through all the review cycles and has templates for each planning and review cycle. Remember, time will pass anyway. The question is, will you have something to show for it?